NASCO is a loyal Wildcat activity supporter and Kellogg-based construction management company. Their primary focus is supporting our U.S. military's Department of Defense through the performance of multi-million-dollar federal construction contracts. NASCO has a long history in the Silver Valley where their home office has been based for more than 23 years. They have enjoyed continued growth and now have multiple satellite offices nationwide. To date, they've worked on over 50 military bases and performed more than 3,500 construction projects in 32 states across the U.S. NASCO is proud of their Silver Valley roots and is actively involved in local community events and activities. You can find them on the web at nascousa.com. Wildcats Live would like to thank NASCO for being the original gold level supporter and proud partner. Thank you, NASCO, and go Wildcats! Family owned and operated since 1948 and located in Smelterville, Idaho, Nickerson's Towing and Sales have been taking care of the Silver Valley and beyond for over 70 years. Chad and his crew provide 24/7 mobile services, towing and recovery, and also have a full shop facility available. Whether you need a tow, a jump start, a winch out, a tire change, or fuel delivery, Nickerson's can do it all. As Chad says, no matter how poorly you park it, we can help. Nickerson's also provides services such as secure storage, truck and trailer repair, brakes, transmissions, suspensions, and much more. Chad and family are devoted, longtime supporters of local youth athletics and activities, as well as all things Wildcats. Give them a call at 208-784-1238 or find them on Facebook at Nickerson Towing and Sales. Wildcats Live would like to thank Nickerson's Towing and Sales for all they have done and continue to do for the community, including their sponsorship of Wildcats Live. Go Cats! North America's premier silver mining and refining company and headquartered in Denver, Colorado, Sunshine Mining and Refining is a precious metals production, development, and exploration company primarily focused on silver. Their namesake project, the Sunshine Complex, is 100% owned by SSMRC and is North America's only vertically integrated silver complex. Located in the mining-friendly Coeur d'Alene Mining District in Idaho, the Sunshine Complex is composed of the Sunshine Mine and Sunshine Refinery, located in the heart of the Silver Valley, Kellogg, Idaho. Sunshine Silver Mining and Refining support many local endeavors and are 2021-2022 Wildcats Live Gold level sponsors. Check out their website at sunshinesilvermining.com to learn more. Go Wildcats! From plywood to paint, tools to trim, they have it all, or they can order it in just a few days' time. Kellogg Lumber Company is a veteran-owned business that has been supplying the Silver Valley with quality building materials to contractors, builders, and homeowners for 4 generations. Personal service and knowledgeable staff make Kellogg Lumber the right choice for your next project. With 50 years buying experience, let Steve and the knowledgeable crew at Kellogg Lumber use their many well-established vendors to source the materials you need for the right price and delivered on time. Kellogg Lumber, more than just lumber for 4 generations. Hometown proud sponsors of Kellogg Wildcat Athletics and Wildcats Live. Purple and gold through and through. Shoshone Glass has been serving the home and auto glass and glazing needs of the Silver Valley and North Idaho for more than 50 years. With 3 generations of family expertise and community loyalty, they have a well-earned reputation for hard work and excellence. No matter what your needs, you can rest easy knowing that your project will be handled quickly and professionally. From energy-efficient windows and sliding glass doors to bath enclosures and mirrors and a comprehensive auto glass service as well. Let the experts at Shoshone Glass take care of your home, auto, and business needs by calling 208-783-1159 or going to shoshoneglass.com. Go Wildcats! All right. I think we have at least have some audio here. So Eli, let's go with this. Ladies and gentlemen, we're experiencing some technical difficulties here. Simon Miller here with Eli Borgard, Ty Cheney, Buck Co. And we are. The stream is good, but the audio just kind of took a vacation on us. So I think we're back on. Welcome to the Silver Valley Tournament. It's 0-0 though, Bogey. So we haven't missed any scoring.
1-0.
1-0. We
one
haven't
free
missed
throw,
any scoring.
Sandpoint, yeah.
And we got Ty up there. The camera's been great. Wildcats Live, we made it. We're just experiencing a few glitches here as we transition from the Wallace Bonners Ferry game to the Kellogg Sandpoint game. Welcome, everybody.
If you're just watching, that was Aaliyah Strock who just made the transition basket there for Sandpoint.
Yeah, if you could let us know, too, in the YouTube channel,
Strong
if you're on the
move.
computer, let us know in the chat if you're getting audio. Buck seems to think we are getting audio now.
That was, Coach, you missed that one. That was a Euro step there from Emily Coe. That was a thing of beauty. I was just having a conversation with a colleague the other day about the Euro step, whether it's a travel or not.
It's definitely it's a paradigm shift, isn't it? It looks like a travel for sure. Audio is good. That's a good sign. Thank you, Clint House. Got to watch your Miners there. Wildcats and Miners maybe with a tough draw tonight, facing the Badgers and the Bulldogs. So we'll see how the Wildcats fare in this second game. We've got starting lineups we thought were going to be brought to you by Chris Johnson. We were unable to get that audio down. But we have our three refs. Why don't you introduce our three refs, Bogey?
Sure. We've got three veteran refs here. We've got Todd Bitterman, St. Mary's native, longtime ref. We've got Mike Flock, and we've got Gary Taylor. So veteran crew. Should be a very well called game. Typically they say when you don't notice the referees is when they call a good game, and I don't think you'll have a lot to notice tonight with these three.
Yeah, this is a good experienced crew.
Yeah, I always like the Silver Valley tournament games because you usually get good officials because a lot of the bigger schools haven't started yet, so it's so early. Yeah. We always got good officials for the Silver Valley tournament.
Wants to get a little
everybody's chomping at the
in.
bit to get to work, so I always like the Silver Valley tournament. We always feel like we got good officials there.
Absolutely, and it looks like we do have audio, so we're going to go ahead and go with that for now. We'll solve that problem later. We just went to option 3 as Macy Jerome makes her first free throw. Wildcats kind of hanging in right now early, huh? A lot of young players out there for the Wildcats. We weren't able to get the starting lineups, but right now we have Alex Karst.
Yeah, Coach, I got the starters. For Kellogg, starting the game was Macy Jerome, Emily Coe, Alex Karst, Danny Hendrickson, and Haley Potts. Starters for Sandpoint were Kelsey Cessna, Demi Driggs, Daly Driggs, Aaliyah Strock, and Carly Banks.
Not a lot of seniors for Sandpoint either.
No, both teams are pretty young.
And good to see, some of those younger players for the Wildcats that we've really been following up through the JV ranks. I'm really, really excited to see Michaela Groth, at sophomore guard.
Yep.
I don't think she has a lot of fear in her, which is good. She just wants to go get it. And, of course, we know Emily Coe very well. We know Haley Potts. We know Madison Cheney, who is not suited up tonight. Maybe an injury.
Oh, nice bucket there.
Nice
Macy
little
Jerome.
running floater there by Macy.
Quick timeout by Sandpoint. I think Macy Jerome, Coach, is going to have a good year this year, I think.
I feel the same way, and I think that that's where she's really going to.
Oh, good move there by number 3 for Sandpoint. Takes it to the basket. Quick foul there from Kellogg. That was Daly Driggs. going hard to the basket, drawing the foul. That one's on Aubrey Groth for Kellogg. So Driggs misses the first. Here comes the back half. Rebounded by Kellogg. And Kellogg's got some substitutions in there as well. There's Michaela Groth in the game. Drug that back pivot foot, I think, a little bit. So ball back to Sandpoint. We lost. Oh, there he goes.
Wildcats hanging in there, Eli. 5-5, really.
I think Daly Driggs, though, they got to contain 2 or 3 plays in a row now. She's just blown by her defender. Kellogg's trying to go man. Another legal screen. It's her second one.
Bitterman, he was right on top of that, wasn't he? He kind of knew what that was coming. He kind of maybe anticipated that a little bit.
Yeah, Coach, this is going to sound crazy, but the last year that I coached up here at the high school, we pretty much abandoned ball screens. We ran a dribble drive because I got so tired. We had 3 or 4 possessions a game. We were getting called for legal screens, and so
a ball screen is tough because it's moving, and you gotta anticipate. You gotta be set.
And the player handling the ball's got to do their part too and get to the screen. And it's just a lot of things have to go right to set a good ball screen.
Again,
yeah, well,
she was moving.
That was questionable there.
Yeah.
It could have been. Another one that's close.
I do love. I don't see a lot of intimidation here. For these young Wildcats,
scared,
they seem like they're ready to go.
And especially, I mean, they're playing Sandpoint, who's two classifications now up on us. So
and had a good season last year. Maybe graduated some seniors. Getting the ball down to Ko.
Pass,
She's a workhorse. She'll get it in the bucket.
Yeah, she brought her lunch bucket today. That was a good, strong move there from Ko. Her second basket of the night.
And a quick right
back.
Yeah.
Strzok on the basket. Junior for Sandpoint. I'll try to go back to Ko inside, but
Ko just throwing her body on the floor with reckless abandon. She's slow to get up.
Yeah,
she's
trying to get back there.
She's gonna do it. She's just in time to.
And I see Maddie Potts over there. I wonder if she's coming in for Emily.
I gotta say, I like Emily's kicks. Those are pretty sweet.
Yeah. She's working hard down there, but man, number 1 there that's Cessna for Sandpoint.
Yeah.
She's working hard at defending Emily Ko in the post. She's not just letting her seal her off.
And Coach Bogey, from a coaching perspective, it's not a great angle to get it inside from the top there. You got to get a better angle.
I hate those.
Yeah.
I can hear my father's voice screaming, angle.
Yeah. Me too. And that isn't that it's a bad idea. You got to look for that post player, and if she has a seal, that's great.
Yeah.
But maybe reverse it 1 or 2 times, and she'll get a seal, but she'll get a better angle at getting that pass in there. Potts right off the bench.
Good look. Yeah, Coach, or even take 2 dribbles to get further down to improve your angle,
How about Jerome there? Just continuing
ice water.
Silky smooth. Little dribble floater there.
She's a player, Coach. I mean, since she was in elementary school, she's been out there.
She does. She looks like she's
wreaking havoc on
right
the playground playing basketball. Nice move there. That was 23. Strzok again. She's had, I think it's her 3rd basket, I believe.
Definitely the pipes have opened up here. The offense is flowing. And that's a great job by – did Karst go to her left there?
I think so.
That's a great job by Alex Karst using her left hand on that left-hand side, drew the foul.
And, Coach, you mentioned some of these new faces for Kellogg, and it's nice to see them getting in right in the first quarter, some of these younger players getting quality minutes early.
Absolutely. Karst, a little bit of adrenaline there, a little bit of back iron, maybe back off that a little bit, just kind of follow through, do the thing again, and she'll get this second one.
And I think this year, Coach, with this team, I mean, with a big void left when Haley Cheney graduated, and I think they're going to need to be 10 or 12 girls deep and get scoring from lots of different places to try to, balance out some of that they're missing.
Yeah, the foul quick there, chance for a 3-point play, but I think you're right. When you have somebody like Haley Cheney that on I would say, quote, normal night, scoring between 15 and 30 points a game, that's. But if you think about it, as a team, that's 5 or 6 points a person.
Yeah.
That's how you have to accomplish that.
Or if you got 10 players playing, I'll raise their average by 2 points. There you go.
Yep. Wildcats now looking at a 5-point deficit, down a little bit of a run here by Sandpoint. Still some ball screens happening.
And some of these, I think they're going to get a few more of these ball screens. A couple of them have been knocking some fillings loose. Missed the transition lane, but offensive rebound by Sandpoint.
Wildcats recover here. Let's see if they can overcome that turnover here with some defense on the half-court side.
Block there on Jerome. And Coach, that transition play there, those are the ones that are gray hairs for coaches when they miss a shot in transition. You don't have a rebounder there, and they get an offensive rebound.
Yeah.
Those ones are brutal.
It's like a free possession,
yeah.
basically. Well, it's almost like 2 free possessions because you turned it over.
Well, you got lucky she missed the shot, and then you didn't take advantage of that lucky.
Exactly. It's almost like salt in the wound.
Yeah, it's a double whammy.
Yeah. As number 3, Daly Driggs, a senior, to the line.
She's having a good game so far.
She has.
This last minute 26 is going to be critical. It was I think it was 9-9 or 9-8 maybe at one point. And so a little run here from Sandpoint.
Back and forth, really pretty close there for a bit. Wildcats really need to have a good offensive possession here. You're not going to hold for last shot. Still too much time there. But you've got to get a good shot here.
And Maddie Potts, coach, she might be the best rebounder on their team. I mean, she just, especially on this free throw there in the right spot.
Yep. I think Potts she's very efficient with her motion, and she's usually in the right place at the right time.
You can tell she knows where to be. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a coachable player.
She gets to the backside. She knows. So she had a couple of big games last year off the bench.
Yeah, she did.
In a few minutes, she'd score 6 or 8 points off putbacks, and so she's one of those ones you mentioned, a familiar face from last season. Another Wildcat turnover. That'll be a bit Groth on the foul there, which maybe not a terrible foul, but you're already in the bonus. But
I mean, I guess as a coach, I'd rather my player was aggressive and stop the ball, and if it's a foul, it's a foul, rather than just let that go all the way to the hoop.
Yeah, and I'd much rather foul him there than in a lot of kids. 2 dribbles from now, they go for the shot, they'll touch him in the back, and it has no impact on the shot, and you get the and one. So if you're going to foul him before they get into shooting motion.
And in particular, it's Michaela Groth. She's a sophomore.
Yeah.
First varsity action here, and that's some good court savvy right there.
She gets some good minutes there. Look at the work there from Emily Coe.
Emily Coe that's just blue collar right there.
That's absolutely,
Nothing fancy. Little bit of a trap dribble. Girl kind of had the ball with her. She just powered through it and just said,
Emily's the kind of kid, coach, who you don't get kids like Emily Coe that often.
No.
And when you do, you're like, you love every minute of it because she does so many intangibles for the team, just hardworking, hard-nosed. And if you had 12 Emily Coes, you'd never lose.
That's right. There she is
again. Yeah. Down a foul 80 feet from the basket.
She and Potts there did a nice little help side exchange, and it turned into getting the ball back, and then Coe just powered through that foul. She's everywhere.
Yeah. And talk about not scared. I mean, you won't see her shine away from contact.
No, it's almost like she's frustrated that her max effort doesn't prove, doesn't strike gold every time.
Yeah.
And that's a good sign. She just works so hard.
We're down to about 20 seconds here. We'll see if they hold for the last shot, or I kind of don't think they will. It's been pretty fast-paced so far.
Yeah, it has. They're not going to turn down that 3 right there. There's a rebound opportunity.
It's a shooter.
Well, Wildcats racking up the fouls. That's going to be a factor
9,
here in the first half.
So next foul will put them in double bonus. That's scary. That foul was on Potts, just her first.
And then it looks like we have another Groth in the game, Coach Bogey.
Yep, this is Aubrey Groth.
Aubrey might be cousin of Michaela. And another sophomore, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, another young Wildcat here, ready to just,
that's
can't
that's
have that.
In the quarter,
little miscommunication there with
they got to get the ball in here.
Alex. Struggling here, the youngins getting it up the court. That's okay, 19-9, 10
and
points. But
Coach, I've been there as a player. I'm playing Sandpoint when I was in school, and they put that press on you. It's it's not easy to.
Yep. Well, here we are, end of the first quarter. A few technical difficulties, but as to be expected here, the first night at Andrews Gym. The refs are going to regroup and gather at center court. We're going to do the same. We'll be right back after a word from a few of our sponsors.
Purple and gold through and through. Shoshone Glass has been serving the home and auto glass and glazing needs of the Silver Valley and North Idaho for more than 50 years. With 3 generations of family expertise and community loyalty, they have a well-earned reputation for hard work and excellence. No matter what your needs, you can rest easy knowing that your project will be handled quickly and professionally. From energy-efficient windows and sliding glass doors to bath enclosures and mirrors and a comprehensive auto glass service as well. Let the experts at Shoshone Glass take care of your home, auto, and business needs by calling 208-783-1159 or going to shoshoneglass.com. Go Wildcats!
All right, I think we're back, and it looks like we have audio, so that's a definite improvement from the beginning of the game. So we had our little regathering and timeout. Eli, as a coach, and you're in that huddle after that quarter, what are you saying to those girls?
First thing I'm saying is we got to move our feet a little better, not get, they've had a lot of fouls, and then, any point from here on out, it's double bonus. So against a team that's 4A, you don't want to give them too many free points at the free throw line.
If I was coaching with your dad like I was in the mid-aughts, your dad would say play hard without fouling.
Yep.
Say play hard without fouling.
That was Coach. That was always one of his keys on the board. And when I was coaching, I always had that up there. Good D without fouling.
Yep. Because the foul, sometimes there's a time and a place for a foul, but a lot of times a foul negates hustle.
Yeah. Yep.
So I always love those. Your dad had so many good, and I know he learned them from many coaches that we both coached with, David Roberts, Tony Kerfoot. But he was able to synthesize all of those and make it his own.
Yep.
He was a special guy. He still is.
That was some of my most fun coaching memories. Were when he was coaching the varsity girls and I was coaching 8th grade girls, and I got to sit on the bench with him. And then years later, my last year I coached at the varsity level. He assisted me a little bit.
That's great.
We had a lot of fun those couple of years.
That's what it's all about, for sure.
I think I had more fun coaching with him than I did playing for him.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. You experienced a lot of dynamics. Here we go. Alex Karst leading the break. She's not afraid to use that left. Maybe a little hesitant there, and maybe could have pulled that and set up the offense, but I don't mind the aggressiveness. Wildcats plagued so far with some turnovers and a lot of fouls. So, Sandpoint, as Coach Bogey said, they're going to be shooting 2 here for the rest of the first half.
Yeah.
And we're just 33 seconds in.
This could be a long second quarter.
This could be Wildcats need to really figure out. You don't want to not play defense, but you got to err on the side of not fouling here.
Yeah. And Coach Finkbeiner, who I used to coach with too, he used to always say that first team to 40 in girls basketball usually wins. And most of the time he's right. So he always said too, free throws are a premium for the free points. If the team that shoots more free throws often wins high school girls basketball.
Yep.
So strong correlation there. So there's another reach in there. And just not moving. That's a tough matchup, though, for getting your post out on the perimeter trying to guard Driggs
if you go by Coach Fink's rules there, Eli, it's not trending well for the Wildcats at this point.
Yeah.
Because they're going to shoot a lot of free throws, and they're well, they're not quite. I was going to say if we'd have made that free throw there, they're halfway to 40.
I think Coach Finkbeiner might be out of timeouts at this point in the game.
Might be. Student body, not a bad representation here. I think it's odd for them. I think it's odd for them and for Wallace to be playing non-Silver Valley teams.
Yeah,
it just feels like it's not as intense as it usually is.
Yeah, almost the feel in the gym is almost more exhibition-like,
Yeah. How about Groth to Groth right there? Not a bad combo.
We got Luna Vision on the boys. Perhaps we'll develop some Groth vision here on the girls'
we're
side.
at 40% Groth on the floor right now. That's something to be said. Wildcats definitely feeling the absence of Maddie Cheney.
Yeah.
You gotta think if Maddie Cheney's in there, you got another option and a defensive presence in the
Yeah,
key.
especially they keep getting to the basket. And I think they'd get less stuff right at the rim if they had Maddie in there.
Well, hopefully she's getting healthy and feeling right, and Wildcats will be on the way.
Great D there from Cessna to set up that look there. And Sandpoint's missed some chippies, but they've had a lot of good looks off turnovers.
They're getting some offensive boards too. They're getting more than their share of second chance opportunities.
I don't know. At some point, Coach, I don't know, do you think about maybe switching to a zone or something? You got 10 fouls and the rebounding is hurting you. But
yeah, I think that's a really good point, Eli. I think that it might be a change of pace, not only that would throw Sandpoint off, but it would give your players maybe a little bit different aspect, a little bit different point of attack as well.
Yeah.
I think that's a good call.
They may not foul as much.
That's a call I would expect from a veteran coach.
And from what I've seen so far from Sandpoint, I don't believe they've hit a three yet. They've attempted quite a few, but you might not get burned too bad if you.
Nice cut there on the backside by Hendrickson and a pass by Jerome. Didn't work out for the Wildcats, but that's about as good as a offensive possession as you can hope for.
And
looked like there might have been some contact too.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Danny doesn't get a lot of calls. It's because she's so strong.
Yeah.
Sometimes she doesn't get those calls just because she's not going to fall to the floor when she gets touched.
The perception there isn't that she's, that somebody is gaining an advantage, and so she doesn't get the benefit of that call.
But there's a lot of times where she gets, a touch here that other players might get called and she won't.
So Wildcats have been able to force a jump ball in the last Sandpoint possession and then a travel. So they've defensively a definite improvement.
Yeah, I mean, we're over a minute in, or 2 minutes in, and they haven't given up a point yet. Ooh, violation there.
Problem is that press. That press for Sandpoint really has given the Wildcats problems.
And that's always what I would tell my kids too. Is if you don't like getting pressed, then
that's right.
You either got to break the press,
you got to beat it,
or you got to not let them score so they can't set it up. Get a stop or break the press. But the best way to get out of the press is to break it a few times, and they'll get out of there if it's hurting them.
Nice little defensive stand there. That's 3 in a row, Coach Bogey. That's 3 defensive stands. Right here, they really need to gather, get a good look at the bucket.
Yeah. So far this quarter, Coach, it's 1-0 Wildcats. So if they just could hit a few baskets, their defense is doing a great job this quarter so far.
Sandpoint definitely dialing up the pressure in the half court. So the Wildcats not really having to earn their looks. And there's a nice pass by Hendrickson.
Yeah.
Probably, if that would have been Maddie Cheney or if that would have been Emily Coe, probably would have been a bucket.
And props there for setting up with Macy Jerome, your guard, trying to get the lob.
Yep.
She had the seal there, but it's just that's kind of tough for a guard to convert that.
It's got to be a perfect pass. So, I mean, now we're frozen at 10-19, which is, if you're a Wildcat fan, we'll take that. We'll take a defensive struggle here. That was almost a travel. And then a little push there by Karst.
And they're really calling a lot of the hand stuff, which I think has been a point of emphasis the last couple of years for these officials. So not that it's the wrong call. They're just Kellogg's got to adjust and get their hands off.
19-10 still. Andrews Gym Silver Valley Tournament. How about a shout out, in memoriam, George White.
Yeah.
George and Paul, K-Wall, Silver Dollar, Silver Valley Radio.
Yeah, I can hear their voices in my head
Silver
right
Valley
now,
62, KWAL. Those guys pioneered the Silver Valley Tournament for decades.
Absolutely. And no matter where it was at, they'd do it in Mullen and Wallace. You'd see them there.
Yep.
And, I used to love, Paul used to call me, Paul or George, one of them. George usually would call me when I was at the elementary school, and they'd interrupt in the middle of the day, and the office secretaries would just put him through to my class. And, Bogey, I need to get your starters for tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I always love talking with him.
I love that George, everybody I've talked to since George passed and attending his service, even in the eulogies, everybody talks about the nickname that George had for him.
Yeah.
And that's just – it not only is special because, in small communities and in coaching and athletic circles, nicknames are kind of they're badges of honor.
Yeah, it's a term of endearment.
If he has a nickname for me, I've arrived.
Yeah. He called my brother and I when we were playing, ever since YBL days, he called us Thunder and Lightning. Beauregards, Thunder and Lightning.
Yep, and that's just how he was.
And he'd still say that to me when he'd see him at games when I was coaching up here.
Yeah, and
great guys.
they just did a great deal for everything in the Valley. And I'm looking across the gym at that crow's nest, and I still, to this day, all those games I attended, watching your dad play.
Yeah.
I don't know how those guys fit up there.
I don't know. And you know what, Coach? I hope, for nothing else, I hope they never take that booth down. That skybox probably, probably should have been taken down a while ago, but I hope they leave it up there. I hope they leave that K-wall emblazoned on the front.
Yeah, me too. What I'd like to do is I'd like to paint that thing purple.
Yeah.
And I'd like to, underneath where the Hail to the Wildcats is, I'd like to put George White, Paul Rom, whatever, put a
cool.
dedication, and then put the school song up here on the mural or something so it can be seen. But, that's dedicating that
Coach.
booth to George and Paul would be, just to George, it would be great.
Paint a silver dollar on there.
Oh, that'd be great.
And I jinxed them right when I said they weren't hitting threes. There's one from that was number 24, Carly Banks with the three-pointer for Sandpoint.
And, we thought about calling Wildcats Live Kellogg Wildcats at Activities Live, K-Wall.
Oh, yeah.
We thought about just continuing K-Wall, and just keeping that going. Oh, nice little up and under by Benning.
Oh, my goodness.
Off the bench, Brooke Benning. Just with a great touch underneath. And just what the Wildcats needed maybe. As Hendrickson pulls a rebound down, Wildcats with a little bit of light here.
A little mojo going now. That reverse lane, and then look, there's Brooke with the hustle.
How about Brooke Benning coming off the bench and immediately making an impact as a coach? I love that.
I love that too. Yeah,
because it's not easy sitting, and then, I've got to go in and do something.
Yeah, because then the next time you need a spark, and coach looks down that bench, she's going to go, hey, last time I got her in there. She lit us. She helped us out.
So nice job, Brooke. Keep working hard. That's a nice little floater off the bench, off the glass. That's Clapper. She's been pretty prevalent here.
And a shout out to Brooke's older sister Cassandra, who played varsity basketball for me several years ago. Her nickname was Ram, which stood for rebound a minute.
Oh, love it. Love the nickname. That's a nice spin there by Strock. So Sandpoint kind of getting in a little bit of a up and down rhythm here. Wildcats, just when they started to feel like they were going to punch back, all of a sudden Sandpoint and the Wildcats, again, Eli, I just think if Madison Cheney was in the paint there, it would be an equalizer.
Yeah,
here.
I think so too.
Wildcats are trying to get it in the paint. They're trying to slow the game down. They're trying to try to get some post entry, and
they already don't have a ton of size, and then you take Maddie out.
You need Maddie down there really making a presence. Got a little chat here. Randy White. I think I live in Randy White's house. Well, it used to be Randy White's house. It's mine now, but it was the White residence. And so he said, I missed you at the service. And George White, it was basically an all-class reunion, So there's another bucket by Sandpoint. Lead growing here for the Bulldogs. Wildcats is trying to keep this within reach before halftime. But yeah, Bogey, I saw so many people that I knew. Bob Santee, your dad's teammate, Paul Roberts. And sorry that I missed you, Randy White. I think I saw you up in the front towards the left. I had to get back to work and I didn't go to the luncheon, but that's a nice three.
She just hit the other one too. That's 24, Carly Banks.
That's Banks, and she did not bank
money,
that.
Yeah.
That's just straight up money.
Yeah, you probably could have put together a 70s, 80s, or 80s, 90s basketball game after George's funeral, probably with all the people there,
Amazing. Yeah, I sat in the back, and Jeff Dorschel was in my row, and that guy's he's an athletic, just the people that were there, the decades is what struck me, because I was a elementary school kid in the 70s, so. That's a nice little move right there. Sandpoint kind of
starting to feel it a little, Yeah. And I'm kind of surprised you haven't had a timeout here. The momentum has shifted greatly in the last few minutes.
Yeah, it's now a 21-point game all of a sudden here, and it just looks like Coach Jana is going to ride it here and just let these youngins figure it out. But,
there's something to be said for sure for letting them play through some of this and not bailing them out with the timeout. But
Jerome, there we go.
From Jerome,
That's a nice three there by Macy.
I miss, Coach, when I was a kid watching these games, I always had, I can't remember which company it was, but somebody did a $3 donation every time you hit a 3-pointer.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember and that's another $3 donation from.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Which company
I remember
it was,
that.
It was somebody
local.
local.
One of the banks, I think.
Yeah, I think so. It was doing every time. I remember Jeremy Boehm hitting a lot of threes and getting those $3 donations were racking up.
Hey, that's an idea. If you are interested in sponsoring 3-point donations,
$3.
hit us up. We'll facilitate it.
You could do a game even. And, you know,
we can do it by game. It can be a company one game and a company the next game. We'll organize it. Donation to the Wildcat activities.
We'll give you a shout out on every 3-pointer.
Yes, we will. We'll say,
Kellogg.
and that's another 3-point and a $3 donation. Well, it doesn't have to be $3. It could be $10. But $3 for 3-pointer.
That was in the 90s, Coach.
That's
so
right.
inflation, the rates have gone up a little
exactly.
bit.
Yeah. And hit us up, you know. Oh, and by the way, we wanted to make sure you noticed down at the bottom of our feed there, I had to rearrange some real estate. We'll stay here during the timeout. We have another gold level sponsor and one that's no stranger to Kellogg High School and Wildcat Athletics. What's happening? Watts Electric of Pinehurst, Idaho, celebrating, I think, 4 generations. Rest in peace, Sherm, Watts, and Sherry, and Brock, and the family still keeping that going. And, you know, Brock's kids are helping with deliveries.
Yeah.
And so that's 4 generations
crazy,
of business here in the Silver Valley. And I'll bet you I'll talk to Luana, or I'll get an email from Sherry or Luana, and they'll tell us about the ads that they had on K-Wall.
Yeah, probably.
And so here we are,
Yep.
2022, live streaming from Andrews Gym, and we're going to build an ad for Watts Electric. Check them out in Pinehurst. Great inventory of appliances and service that will not be beat
Absolutely not.
on this side of the country.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
Anywhere, I'd wager.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere. So give Watts a call if you have any appliance needs, and thank you for your sponsorship. Luana, Sherry, Brock, all the White family. We're just glad to have you. I mean, you've always been on board, but we're glad to formally have you as Wildcat sponsors, gold sponsors on Wildcats Live. Wildcats still struggling, down 20 here. They closed it. They had it down to 18. A lot of youth out here. Macy Jerome trying to get some help. 5-second call. Just couldn't get somebody to throw it to, but Wildcats definitely with a learning curve here, Eli. It's pretty steep. It's a hockey stick learning curve right now.
And when we mentioned before the game, it's 2 classifications up, so it's not an easy draw.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised. I mentioned this to you the other day over email when I saw the bracket. A lot of times the host team will try to give themselves kind of an easy first matchup, and Kellogg, I give them credit for not doing that. And I don't know if they drew or they just decided or what.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how that was organized. And obviously, Bonners is pretty strong.
Yeah.
Wildcats played them tough last year, and I think they might have beat them once, and then Bonners beat them 2 times.
Yeah.
Well, Wildcats were IML champions, so Wildcats might have beat them 2 times.
Yeah.
But at districts, Bonners really came through. Yeah, you're right. It almost used to be, how can we get Kellogg and Wallace in the championship
that's what
game?
it felt like
because
it
that's
was.
where we're going to pack the gym. But
and it's funny because Coach, I've never been in AD. I don't know how all that works, but I know for several years it seemed like whoever hosted it played Mullen the first day.
Whoever hosted it had that right.
Played Mullen, and then when you'd bring up a question, they'd say, "Oh, it's random," and it's like, "Oh, that's a pretty good coincidence."
It's like the Mullen tournament.
It's like eeny, meeny, miny, Mullen. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know how they do that, but I have my doubts whether it's truly random or not.
Yeah, well, and we may never know, but we're glad to be back in Andrews Gym, and we're glad to have basketball kicking off. It just seems like we were doing football and volleyball. But I did want to mention Randy's back in the chat. He says, yes, my house. He's making it clear that is his house. And it was his first. So I am in it now. I'm glad I bought it from Randy's dad. And Buck was, speaking of small-town connections, Buck White was my junior football coach.
Oh, wow.
And when he sold the house to me, of course we knew each other. And it was just great. It was great moving into a house that I knew who I was buying it from.
Yeah, that makes it nice.
Yeah, it was nice, and it was almost like an extra, not a burden, but it was like, gosh, it's like kind of a legacy. You know, like
carry the torch, kind of.
So a lot has changed, but a little has changed, Randy, and we love the house, and we've done a few, maybe I hope they're improvements, but thanks for tuning in to Wildcats Live. And we've got just under 40 viewers right now, but we're going to take a break and
talk about a few of our sponsors, and we'll be back in just a little bit.
From plywood to paint, tools to trim, they have it all, or they can order it in just a few days' time. Kellogg Lumber Company is a veteran-owned business that has been supplying the Silver Valley with quality building materials to contractors, builders, and homeowners for 4 generations. Personal service and knowledgeable staff make Kellogg Lumber the right choice for your next project. With 50 years buying experience, let Steve and the knowledgeable crew at Kellogg Lumber use their many well-established vendors to source the materials you need for the right price and delivered on time. Kellogg Lumber, more than just lumber for 4 generations. Hometown proud sponsors of Kellogg Wildcat Athletics and Wildcats Live. NASCO is a loyal Wildcat activity supporter and Kellogg-based construction management company. Their primary focus is supporting our U.S. military's Department of Defense through the performance of multi-million-dollar federal construction contracts. NASCO has a long history in the Silver Valley where their home office has been based for more than 23 years. They have enjoyed continued growth and now have multiple satellite offices nationwide. To date, they've worked on over 50 military bases and performed more than 3,500 construction projects in 32 states across the U.S. NASCO is proud of their Silver Valley roots and is actively involved in local community events and activities. You can find them on the web at nascousa.com. Wildcats Live would like to thank NASCO for being the original gold level supporter and proud partner. Thank you, NASCO, and go Wildcats. North America's premier silver mining and refining company and headquartered in Denver, Colorado, Sunshine Mining and Refining is a precious metals production, development, and exploration company primarily focused on silver. Their namesake project, the Sunshine Complex, is 100% owned by SSMRC and is North America's only vertically integrated silver complex. Located in the mining-friendly Coeur d'Alene Mining District in Idaho, the Sunshine Complex is composed of the Sunshine Mine and Sunshine Refinery, located in the heart of the Silver Valley, Kellogg, Idaho. Sunshine Silver Mining and Refining support many local endeavors and are 2021-2022 Wildcats Live Gold level sponsors. Check out their website at sunshinesilvermining.com to learn more. Go Wildcats! Family owned and operated since 1948 and located in Smelterville, Idaho, Nickerson's Towing and Sales have been taking care of the Silver Valley and beyond for over 70 years. Chad and his crew provide 24/7 mobile services, towing and recovery, and also have a full shop facility available. Whether you need a tow, a jump start, a winch out, a tire change, or fuel delivery, Nickerson's can do it all. As Chad says, no matter how poorly you park it, we can help. Nickerson's also provides services such as secure storage, truck and trailer repair, brakes, transmissions, suspensions, and much more. Chad and family are devoted, longtime supporters of local youth athletics and activities, as well as all things Wildcats. Give them a call at 208-784-1238 or find them on Facebook at Nickerson Towing and Sales. Wildcats Live would like to thank Nickerson's Towing and Sales for all they have done and continue to do for the community, including their sponsorship of Wildcats Live. Go Cats!
back. Eli Borgard, Simon Miller here, Wildcats Live. Wildcats coming out of halftime. Coach Bogey, what adjustments? You're down 20 plus, but what adjustments do you make?
I'm sure they talked about the press. I mean, down 20 enough, we'll see much more, but I'm sure they looked at what they can do against the press.
Obviously, maybe not the fouling, because
yeah,
that was one that maybe went uncalled. Emily just was over aggressive there, and that's just how she plays, but got away with one there.
Sandpoint graciously here, you can tell their girls wanted to press, and their coach called them back up by 22. So classy move there from the Sandpoint coaching staff, which I want to give a quick shout out here on the Sandpoint staff coach. I don't know if you saw this, but their JV coach, former player Maddie Schoenig.
Oh.
I don't know if you remember her. She scored 55 points in a district championship game against Lakeland. I remember that.
Wow.
And she was a beast. And we played her one year here in Kellogg. When I had Janet Lowe on my team, Janet Lowe.
Yeah.
And Janet Lowe, we were on a box and one with Janet Lowe on her, and we held her to 8. She averaged about 30 that year, so we almost beat them. It was 27-24.
Wow.
Here at Kellogg. And I had a team that was like 500,
Yeah.
And they got 4th at state that year in 4A. And I got a bunch of calls from coaches down south when they went to state going,
right.
How did you hold them to 27 points?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you said, let me introduce you to Janet Lowe.
No, you know what I said? I said, I'm not going to tell you anything about the teams from up north.
Right.
Call somebody else.
Yeah. I got an allegiance.
I said, I don't want them telling stuff about me when we get down there. So. Oh, good look there from the corner. Good look. Wide open. That was 23. Aaliyah Strock having a good game for Sandpoint.
Just noticed Cessna with the full leg brace. Must have been a knee injury, but, man, she's moving around like it's not bothering her a bit. But
you wouldn't notice.
No. I mean, it took me until this. I saw it, but I didn't know it was that comprehensive,
Yeah. Kellogg really focused on trying to get it inside.
And you can tell it's probably what they practice with Maddie Cheney and Potts.
And probably what they ran last year with Haley Cheney.
Yeah, it's their nature. So they're still trying to do that, and that is admirable. They just don't have the bodies to execute that to the full potential right now.
And that's the hard thing to balance sometimes is you get comfortable with stuff that you run and you like, but then you go, well, what can I run best with this group of kids? It might be different year to year, to try to play to their strengths or whatever. But so I'll be curious as the season goes on to kind of see how Kellogg evolves.
I was disappointed after watching. Nice little move there by Emily getting in there. She's crafty. I was disappointed after watching volleyball that Abby Neff doesn't play basketball. She's
a great athlete. And her brother's a great basketball player.
Yes,
I got to coach him, and he's
Parker. Is he at Lake City?
I'm not sure, Coach.
Lake City, I think.
Yeah, I coached him in middle school. He was fun to coach.
Yeah, he was a good player. Played with a lot of energy, a lot of athleticism.
Always had a grin on his face.
Yeah, just enjoyed it.
Yep.
Well, once again, thanks for joining us, everybody. Any Sandpoint fans, welcome.
They should have had a violation there, I think. Yeah, Bitterman got it.
Yeah.
Veteran call there. She stepped over the line. One more.
Emily's going to get another chance here to Wildcats just going to try to chip away. And I think you and I, as coaches, are both thinking, Bogey, you're talking to your players. Maybe you don't win the quarter, but we're going quarter by quarter here.
Oh, yeah. Halftime, you're telling them, we got to race that second quarter and pretend it's 0-0, try to win the quarter. And especially now that if that press is off, I think Kellogg, they should be able to hang. Kellogg kind of picking up a little earlier here. Yeah, and it worked there through the top. Yeah.
Potts got
just too impatient there on the.
Got away with the travel, and Potts frustrated right there, and I think she's just maybe a little winded, and maybe just she got back on that 1-2-2 press and did get a steal there, but a little frustrated with herself, but she plays hard.
We've got Maya Reynoldson in the game for Kellogg. I think it's her first time in, I think.
There we go. Speaking of volleyball.
Yeah.
Nice job, Maya, with the block out there. Was able to secure the rebound there for the Wildcats via foul, but still the same result.
And so far, just one foul so far for Kellogg here in the first couple minutes. That's a promising sign. And good defense there. Yeah, good defense. Timed that perfectly.
That's Cessna. She has been everywhere.
She can play, yeah.
Yep.
And I like, Sandpoint called off the press, but he's not going to have him quit playing defense.
Exactly.
So and that's the right way to do it, in my opinion.
You
so
call off the press, but you say you still play hard.
Yep. So I credit Cessna for playing hard still.
And I'll bet you Sandpoint probably has a pretty good 2-3 zone, but he's probably saying, we need to work on our man.
Yeah.
So he's probably working on stuff as well.
Coach, another Coach Bogey story here. I remember playing JV against Sandpoint, and they were killing us, pressing us. And they got up by 20, and they pulled the press off. And my dad takes a timeout, not to chew us out, to go talk to their coach and tell him, what are you doing? Put the press back on. We're not going to get any better if you pull the press. So the coach said, okay, and they put the press back on. And we lost by 40, but we figured out the press eventually at some point.
That's, I
remember he was so excited after the game because in the last couple of minutes they finally had to pull the press.
Right.
We scored a couple of buckets, and then they finally pulled it.
That's a great story, and I hope as we go through the season here, Coach Bogey tunes in.
Yeah, I hope he gets to hear a couple of games.
And maybe he'll even text us and tell us a little tidbit as well.
Good patience here by Kellogg. They've been pretty patient moving the ball around.
Nice little motion offense there. That's Karst for 3, no good.
Good backside position there from Sandpoint.
You're starting to get tired right now if you're the Wildcats. Like, this is where it kind of starts to mount up.
Especially your first game, it's takes a while to build that endurance back up of playing these.
You talked about the physicality of Danny, and she did not budge on that rebound.
Yeah, no.
Nice little spin move there by Jerome, not able to get it to go.
Ooh, of course, we got player down here for Kellogg.
Emily's been, I tell you what, Emily's calling card is she sacrifices her body basically on every possession. And that does take its toll, but I've noticed, look she gets up and she's like, okay, that sucked, and I'm just going to do it again.
She's got amnesia. She just forgets as soon as it plays, and she goes on to the next like it's.
She's just a warrior.
Yep.
And I agree with you. If I had 10 of her.
Yeah. Over and back. Good D there from Kellogg, forcing the turnover.
Emily back with a little spring in her step.
Yep.
Like she's forgetting about that, that strawberry she got on the floor, or knocked her knee or her hip, and she said, I'm back, ready to go. Yeah, so Emily, she's an aggressive volleyball player as well, and
got some insider info there from her brother Buck, saying she's battled through some injuries in volleyball too.
She's played hurt for quite a while, so.
And speaking of Buck Coe up there in the booth, Coach, he had a heck of a cross country season too. He just today was announced as the cross country MVP for the middle school team. So
that's pretty special there, I would say. So let's talk to Buck Coe, the Kellogg Middle School cross country MVP. Buck, tell us about cross country. What's going on there? MVP, congratulations.
The cross country season this year was amazing. We had some very talented girls and some very talented boys.
Did the girls win districts?
Girls district champs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Our girls got district champs, which
and the boys were runner-up,
about.
led by Buck Coe, who was our top boy at the district meet.
Buck Coe, also the winner of the Jackass 5K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In his division. Great job, Buck.
And he also ran the Huckleberry up in Wallace. He did well up there too.
Wow, Buck. So Buck, what do you like about running, Buck? What's your favorite part about running?
Well, running just helps me get my anger out by school. You
Stress
sweat out
relief.
all the emotions.
I love it.
And it's just one of the parts in sports that I'm the best in.
And you like to be outside, right, Buck? You hunt and do that sort of thing, too. Sandpoint puts another bucket up. That's Aaliyah Strock. So, Buck, it's also outside, right? You love that.
Yeah, I definitely think, no offense to my track coach or anything, but cross country is much better than track because it's not like a course where you're going around 4 laps every single time.
Right. Yeah, track
and you're
gets
like,
a little
when
boring.
is it gonna be over? Like all that stuff builds up, but when you're on a free course when you're not going laps.
I love that part of cross country too. I'm a runner too, as you know, Buck, and I don't go to the track and run laps. I go run around as much of the Silver Valley as I can, and it's great.
Very seldom do we use the track. I think once or twice all year during cross country season. We usually try to do it somewhere else, but we'll have to organize a Wildcats Live group run sometime.
Yeah, group run. Let's do it. Buck, what do you think? Buck, we don't want to
I want to keep you going here. You're a Kellogg Middle School student. Tell us a little bit about Kellogg Middle School. Maybe what's your favorite class? What's your favorite thing to do at school during the day?
My favorite class is definitely science because you get to experiment with stuff and it's an interactive class rather than just reading and doing assignments.
Yeah, that's a good point,
Love
Buck.
We got to make some egg cars.
Who's your teacher, Buck? Who's your science teacher?
Mr. Stewart.
Mr. Stewart,
Mr.
who was
Stewart.
my 8th grade basketball coach. His dad.
Oh yeah, and he's, I think Jeff Stewart's coaching again this year. I think at the middle school.
So his son is coaching as well. He's your teacher. So what a connection there, Buck.
Yeah, he was there today. We had a staff versus our middle school volleyball team today, and he was reffing that game.
Oh, excellent.
away.
How did that go? How did the staff versus students volleyball go?
The sets were 1-1, and it was a close one.
Wow.
It was a really good one.
So would they call that a tie then, or?
I believe so.
That's probably for the best. We want no hard feelings between the staff and students.
That's like when I was a kid, and I was so excited to read the comic book where Superman races the Flash, and then I was so disappointed when it ended in a tie. I thought they stole my 12 cents or whatever.
Come on. Give me a winner. Anyway, Buck, we're proud of you. You're doing some great things. You're in cross country. You're a good student. You are pretty active. You're an outdoorsman, and you're a great cameraman and producer for Wildcats Live. So
that's right. Couldn't do without you, Buck.
Thank you,
Buck.
Simon.
Thank you, and keep doing your good work up there. That was Buck Coe, ladies and gentlemen. Nice three
shot,
there
yeah.
by Karst. And that's good stuff. That's why we do what we do. And answer 3, no good. Aubrey Groth with the rebound. Wildcats with a little bit of momentum here.
Coach, we're back to Groth vision here, too. We got 40% Groth on the floor.
That's a good sign. Two sophomores.
Yeah,
Karst, a junior.
Coach, I got to say, I like Coach Nearing getting some of these younger kids some time in a game like this. You know, it's good for them to get some time early and build that confidence a little bit. She's doing a good job mixing in some of the younger kids with some of the more experienced kids, so she's not putting them in a bad spot, you know.
And I think she still has a couple players there that she's going to probably figure out how to squeeze in, and they're ready, and they're kind of looking like we've not played any varsity yet, so I think she's smart enough to know when to put them in to where it's advantageous and beneficial to them. Yeah,
it's a fine line as a coach. Sometimes, you know, I always think of like when you move kids up at the end of the year, and sometimes it's a lot to take in if they're new, and so you don't want to put them in a bad spot, but you want to give them some experience. And so to this point, I think Coach Nearing doing a good job balancing that.
I just realized, too, I remember this is for our Wildcats Live faithful. We have had our own streaming system for the last 5-6 years, even beyond that. But since the NFHS Pixelot system, which is basically like an automated camera system, we basically resisted that because we didn't need it. And we didn't need it through COVID, and a lot of schools bought onto that, and they have the contract with the IHSAA. Well, they came up with a new contract that's basically a non-exclusive, which means we can still broadcast like we are. We're not changing anything. Nothing will be different for our Wildcats Live viewers, but there is a simultaneous feed right now going on with NFHS.
Huh.
Our view was we don't want to dictate what the high school does because we're independent from the high school, just like K-Wall was. But we also didn't want to eliminate the possibility of something being there if we were unable to do this in the future.
Yeah.
So we encourage you to continue to tune into Wildcats Live. We think it's a better product. We think it's more personal. We think it's more community-oriented.
Yep.
But that's why you see those cameras up there, and we just didn't want to Sandpoint, they're getting some of their players in too.
Yep, yeah. And you can tell sometimes when you're up this much, the basket gets a little wider, gets wider, and but it's kind of exciting to see some of those other kids score buckets, you know.
It's a good point in our ear there by our producer, Buck. He said, NFHS does advertise, and I would guess in some of the bigger communities generates some revenue for some of those schools, because that Wildcats or that NFHS subscription is $11, $12 a month. So some of that goes to the school, depending on your contract. And Buck says, what we're doing with our sponsors is we're generating that revenue, and we're donating to Kellogg High School. We're donating to fundraisers, and we're doing a multiple angled effort of giving back as well. So we like our K-Wall model pretty well. Yeah.
And I think people, like you said, Coach, people I think enjoy listening to it more than just, watching the screen go back and forth with no audio.
I think so too, and I have seen, NFHS is as much of a negative rap as they do get. That's just their Pixelot system. So they have that Pixelot system, but they have something similar to this, like Bear Lake when we played them in football. Yeah. They have the ability to let you broadcast and use their network. So there's all kinds of nuances to it. We are just happy to be able to do this on this scale into the third quarter. And
Buck just pointed out that was foul number 4 on Danny Hendrickson. So we got substitution there with Brooke Benning in the game. Just got the rebound on the missed free throw.
We'll stay here for the timeout.
For everybody's information, tomorrow's games are at 11 a.m. and 12:30 is the championship game. So, should be Wallace and
we are still here, Wildcats Live, just kind of taking in the third quarter break.
Come on out for the game tomorrow.
Yeah, we are talking here about, we were talking earlier about the Bear Lake Kellogg football game. Of course, Kellogg making it to the quarterfinals. The Max Prep rankings kind of hurting them there, and they had to travel to the number 1 seeded Bear Lake Bears, who are the state champion, 2A state champions. So kind of a rough draw, but we were talking about they use NFHS, but they also have a affiliate that is basically like a CREM 2 or a KXLY that helps Bear Lake put on a broadcast, and they broadcast simultaneously. So the Pixelot is kind of an automated thing. The audio isn't great. For a lot of schools, though, it got them through the pandemic, and it's better than nothing. But we've been here. We were here years before the pandemic, so this is nothing new to us. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of help from people like Watts Electric and Eli Borgard coming and doing, taking time on their own and coming in and doing it. So it's definitely not easy, but it's worth it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's nice to support these kids. Nice bucket there.
Yeah.
These young kids getting in there. Nice shot fake. Yeah. Oh, like a veteran move there.
Get the replay on that, hopefully. Nice pass there. I think it was who was that? Couldn't see.
Yeah, I missed it. Ooh, a lot of contact. We got a block down low.
Was that Clapper that threw that pass? It looked like a number 3. Is there a number 3 out there? No.
It must have been 13 maybe.
Well, let's go back to the replay. Let's look at that replay again, full screen. That is a number 5. Oh, that's Jerome. That was Macy. That was a good look.
Yeah, she sees the floor well.
Yep.
Always has her head up on the dribble.
So we are at 22:54.
Jerome, nice shot.
Jerome from the concession stand.
Yeah. Candy corner over there.
Candy corner, 3-pointer by Macy Jerome.
And I love the last possession. She tried one from the other corner. It didn't go, so then she just switched corners and got the next one down.
Because shooters keep shooting, right?
That's right. Yep.
So Wildcats putting up some points here. We are in Mercy Rule territory, so that clock is going to run. Many of the starters for Sandpoint are on the bench. Game well played. They will face
the Bonners Ferry Badgers, just their neighbors to the, just slightly to the north there. And Wildcats will face their familiar foe, the Wallace Miners. So we did get the Wallace-Kellogg matchup, maybe just not the way we wanted to.
Yeah.
Nice little up and under there by Coe. Did everything but make it, Bogey.
Yeah. But she'll get some free throws here.
Yep.
So it's kind of funny how the matchups will end up working out. That it'll be Kellogg and Wallace know each other so well, and
Yep.
Sandpoint and Bonners know each other so well, and that'll end up being who plays in the next round.
So really, we have a tournament that consists of teams that are not league opponents.
No.
So Sandpoint, they're part of the Inland Empower
Yeah,
League.
we have 4 different leagues here.
Yeah.
1A, 2A, 3A, 4A.
4 different
Yeah.
leagues and classifications in
Yeah.
the Silver Valley Tournament. So I
Crazy.
guess that's saying something.
Yeah, Coach, I coached I was lucky enough to coach in 5 Silver Valley tournaments. We had some different, usually 3 of the teams were pretty much set. It was usually
Right.
Wallace, Mullen, us, and then the 4th
Like a
team
St.
sometimes
Mary's
moved.
or a Kootenai.
St. Mary's, Kootenai, Orfino, Genesis Prep one year, but mostly it was those 3 Valley teams. And my favorites were, I liked when Kootenai was involved because then it really felt, because they're probably our next
Yeah.
closest neighbor. That
Yeah.
felt like most like the Silver Valley tournament to
Yeah.
me. But
Yeah, it is. I guess there's some new things that we're exploring here, but there's also, it's kind of sad to see some of that tradition go away, at least for this year.
yeah, I was kind of surprised when I saw the schedule that Timberlake wasn't on there because they've been in our
Right.
league for so long, and so I kind of thought even if we move down, we'll still probably play most of those league teams, and so.
A couple of nice buckets there by Sandpoint. I think one of them was. Oh, who was it? I just watched. They just made a couple of really tough buckets. Maybe Alex David, I think, was one of them. She just made a nice little floater. Wildcat. I think that was a Wildcat timeout, maybe. And that is the only thing at this point in the game, Eli, that's going to stop the clock.
Yeah.
We are in mercy rule territory.
And there was times as a coach when we got to the mercy rule, and I always tried to use timeouts because I hate that running clock. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's still even if you're down by 30, you're still trying to
coach
coach and teach your kids.
Exactly.
And especially if you're trying to get kids minutes, a little bit of minutes, like that time will go by so fast if you're not stopping it. So.
I think the Wildcats may be missing their pep band as well. I mean, the student body here is
Yeah, they're a
pretty
little
spirited,
listless.
but
Yeah.
so you got to have that pep band.
Yeah, the pep band, I think they're worth 8 or 10 points a game. I feel like.
I think so. I want to say that. And how about Emily Coe maximizing that pivot and getting a foul, getting to the line, get herself some more points here.
And so Emily misses the free throw. I think she's going to shoot a lot of free throws this year. She's not afraid of contact down there. She makes them call something.
Yeah,
it's usually a collision when she's down there.
Maybe that is something
Nice
that
board by
Coach
Potts.
Nearing says,
Yeah.
hey, we got to the line, but we didn't make, we
Yeah.
were only shot 40% or whatever
Yeah.
we are right now. And that
you-
could have been,
And you always look
10
at those and
points.
go, yeah, if we shoot 60% at the line, then now
Yeah.
it's 35, and
Exactly.
58, and then they miss some chippies and that kind of stuff, and
And if we're playing a league game,
Yeah.
that's the difference between a win and a loss.
Yeah. So good stop there by Kellogg coming down the other way. Karst pulls it. Good look. Nice board by Jerome with the follow.
Wildcats playing hard.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Jerome still playing D. Look at getting on the floor. 3 players at the deck there. Nice hustle from both groups. That's what you like to see. 2 minutes to go with running clock and 3 players at the floor on a loose ball.
Yeah, I do like that they're playing hard. That's a sign of, that's a good sign of buy-in.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you're not at full strength. You're missing a couple players, and you're down big, but you're still playing hard.
Yep.
And is that Danny? Is Danny 4 fouls?
She's
out
4
there just
playing, yep.
living on a prayer right
Yeah.
now. She's just going for
She's
it.
going to dare him to foul her out. That was something unusual. We used to practice occasionally. It was when I coached up at the high school. We'd practice, and for the scrimmage, I'd give a kid, say, you got 4.
Yeah.
And just assign a different kid each scrimmage so they could get used to playing with 4 and teach them a few tricks for trying to avoid some of those fouls and how to make the adjustments.
Because you can't not play, right?
Yeah, you got to play them, especially in school this our size.
Not be out there.
But nice move from Potts, little baby hook there. Yeah,
nice little baby hook from Haley Potts.
Yeah, she's got nice soft touch.
She does, and she's always in pretty good position.
Yep, knows where to be. A nice move there. Oof. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I think at this point with the running clock, the refs are, I'm not saying they're not calling anything, but they're saying, hey, it's going to be pretty physical and a little sloppy down here, but we're going to keep the game moving.
I think if Kellogg can get in their bucket and at least get up in the 30s, that'll make them feel a little better, I think, against 4A.
There's Potts again down on the
working
block.
hard. Look at that little swim move. Yeah,
nice little underneath.
Good look for a 3. Emily's in the right spot. Just goes off her foot.
Look at, and Emily is selling out every possession. Full board. Look at, she's the first one to touch it down here.
Yeah.
And then fights for the rebound.
Yep. And like you said earlier, Coach, even getting a foul there, I don't hate it on Emily. She just plays so hard. You can't fault her.
Emily Coe earned every one of those fouls, and I mean it in a good way.
Yeah, that's her 5th.
That's selling out and just playing as hard as you can from start to finish.
Yep. Board by Sandpoint. Oh, stolen by Benning. Just took it away from her. Down to 7 seconds.
Get it, Benning.
Oh, get in there. Good look.
Nice little.
So I think they'll hold here. I doubt they'll take a shot. There we go. So 58-29 is your final. Congratulations to Sandpoint. They will face Bonners Ferry tomorrow in the championship game.
Championship, Bonners Ferry, Badgers, Sandpoint Bulldogs. I think that's at 1. I think the other game is at 11:30, if I'm not mistaken.
11 and 12:30.
We got the Wildcat alma mater here. You don't just do the alma mater when you win and everything goes your way. You salute your school and your former graduates and athletes, and it's just kind of a way of showing how proud of your school you are. And I admire that they're still doing it. The players will kind of try to do it. You got to time it just right. You don't want to time it during, shaking hands. But good to see. You see people that aren't players doing the alma mater. I'm all for it. I like tradition. I think Kellogg has tradition, and Wildcats come up on the short side of it tonight, Eli, but it wasn't for a lack of effort.
Yeah, no, I liked what I saw. Yeah, yep. And the young players played well, I thought, and a lot to build on.
So we will see everybody. Well, hopefully we will see you tomorrow. For Eli, Coach Bogey Beauregard, we will get him back later here in the season. After Thanksgiving break, we'll get some more games in, boys and girls. We'll get him up here. For Buck Coe, Ty Cheney, and Eli Beauregard, I'm Simon Miller. Thank you for watching Wildcats Live. We'll see you next time. And thank you to our sponsors. And we'll see you next time.